can see this whole thing, if I put my weight on it, it might just fall. So I'm gonna not put my weight on that. Probably should not be here alone, but oh well. Well, as long as I am alone down here, I hope I am alone. I really hope I am. What's up, guys? Today we are going to be looking around this old burnt out World War II bunker. So come with me as I poke around and try not to fall through the floor right here. This is all that's left of the top story. You can see over there and over there and over there. There is no more top story. So I'm just gonna come along this walkway. Just gonna go over here. As you can see, the floor has been burnt. Okay, some loose boards. But up there is the main entrance. That's currently sealed off. So we're gonna head this way. There's a 1 and 2, and those are connected to the air conditioning ventilation units. So you get one to pump air down through a series of vents and give air to this whole complex, and the other one to bring the air back up again. That's still connected to the top. I can hear air coming down. So I'm just gonna come back along here. This is concrete, but you can see with the ash and the heat, it's cracked. It doesn't like extreme temperatures. Right. Just gonna come along here. I can't go over there either. I can kind of come along over here though. Just gotta be careful. This middle patch is not supported by much, so we're just gonna come here and just poke around. Kind of low myself down here, but basically they used to do war council thingy, and this was a stage or a lectern, and the officials would all sit at chairs here underneath this bench. They would have their little papers, and the lesser guys would all sit down there. You can see over there, there's a blackboard. So people have come in here. You can, that is full. Hmm. 1990. That was expired, so best not to drink it. But this is now the ground floor. That stage has survived incredibly well, so I'm amazed by that. I think that's a typewriter of sorts. I would say so, or something. That is very cool. And not sure what that is, but oh, there's the yogurt. Now, I think the people who lit these fires that came in here, they brought the yogurt containers with them to use as like a fuel of sorts, which is a waste because this would have been way cooler if it hadn't been burned to a crisp. I'm just gonna come along. Oh, look at this. First aid platoons, base, sub area. Yeah, so this was like a planning. There was no like weapons or anything stored here, but all the officials came, and Prime Minister was probably in here too. Okay. I'm just gonna go through here. I think this is the third exit. It's really echoey in here. all smushy down there. There's water up there. It's probably not clean, but just gonna. Ooh. Yeah, don't want to get dripped on. But these rooms survived relatively well from the fire because they're so isolated. There's not a lot of air in here to circulate. It doesn't burn, but the water has seeped in and it's kind of rotted all out that. Again, people have been in here. And that, I reckon that is a sewage line that has been sealed off because that is black. That is disgusting. But here is the exit, the third exit. As you can see, it's now the garden. So there's rocks and stuff here. And there's a grating. But yeah, back we go. That was loud. So, go this way. One does wonder what that wood is made out of, because it seems fine. In theory, it should be burnt, so that is interesting. There's our way out. But, there's our light switch. Nothing happens because, well, duh. There is a chest of drawers over there. I don't think there's any papers in here because, well, the fire exists. But I assume they used to keep stuff. These used to be like offices in here. The ground is fairly unstable. There's like a plasterboard, and underneath there's beams, as you can see in this room. And beneath the beams is like concrete. So that's the floor, but it's got an insulated floor above it. That is a toilet. It's an old style. I believe they were still using wooden seats and copper basins to store the water. So, and I've fallen through the floor again. There's a sink up here. Old style handles. So that's cool. The metal tap. There's the stairs. We'll go back there later. And I fell through the floor again. I need to stop doing that. Just this way. You can see all the fire damage in this room, but that is the top where we were before. It's relatively fine. I don't know what this room would have been. There's a door handle. It's charred and absolutely destroyed. And a flicky light switch. It's cool. But thankfully, concrete can withstand a little bit of heat. Maybe not well, but well enough. I'm gonna go this way. Gonna try not fall through the floor again. There's the sinks, so this might have been like a kitchen or a mess or something for eating. There's drawers here. Another office. And you can kind of see what I was talking about with the vents. We've got like vents for the walls and into different rooms so that the air could circulate. There's rusty hinges. Feels almost alien in here. To think any moment this whole roof could collapse on me. My father would not be pleased, but he will not be watching this video. Probably not, anyway. But you can kind of see where the floor has come down. That is all the beams. And in here should be, well, there's one. Oh, here's the other one. Can you guys see up there? I hope so. Anyway. Try and not stab ourselves with anything. But yeah, here's what I was talking about. You've got a little bout housing right here, and a motor to drive a fan in there to push air up or to suck it in through this way. I'm not sure which, I don't know. But we can kind of have a pokey in here. There's gratings and stuff. Here's the fan. Just gonna stick you in there. There we go. Probably was a filter. This in between this metal was probably some sort of fabric, and you pull it out, you replace it with a new one, and you clean it. So that was to filter all the air, because again, this is underground, and there is no air underground. Just fine. There's a water bottle from somebody, not me. That is where the exit is, up there. Try not to hit our head. I don't know what that is. It looks disgusting, but wow, that's pretty. Oh, it's like magic. Again, the sewage, this probably was a toilet or something. Wow, so pretty. I like that. So cool. This room does not go anywhere, but that is fine. I'm not sure. This is probably a safe room of sorts. Well, safer than the others. Homeless. Disposal number time. How wonderful. That's great. We're gonna head out. See, there's a chicken wire to circulate the air through that door and up there, because you need that air flow. You can't just have air pump into a room. You need it to move through. That was loud. Bed frame. A lot of really old stuff. I'm not sure. And a lot of newer stuff, which is interesting. It's always cool to see what people were using for things. I don't know what this room is, but I think this is the biggest room of all the rooms. So this whole floor that we're standing on used to be up there, and it's just fallen down with the weight of itself. So there's wires. You can see all the wires that used to run around on the floor were underneath the top floor for lights and whatnot. What do we have here? This is pretty cool. It's a pot. It's not solid steel. It's got some insulator around it. So I'm not sure what that was used for. Probably not cooking food. Or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that is the proper exit up there. But as you can see, it's been sealed off. Which is fine, because we don't need to come through there. It's another ear vent to another room. There used to be more rooms and stuff. And you could probably see there was a remnants of a wall here. So running along this side. So this would have been maybe to there, maybe? I don't know. But what is this? That is a ball. That's cool. Very strange looking cockroach. There's a lot of cockroaches everywhere. There's a tennis ball too. I'm gonna leave you be, cockroach and ball. I don't take stuff from places. It's not okay. So it's good to follow some sort of code. Oh, there's a bench. That's still pretty solid. What's under the bench? Nothing. Wow, who would have thought? I would have thought. Very interesting, this whole place. I'm not too happy with those yogurt people. The ones who brought all the yogurt containers in to burn. Kind of made a mess. Ruined it. But, such is life, I guess. That's the other side of that air vent. Clearly a wall. There's a door here. So we're gonna go through that. Into this room, which is relatively well preserved, I must say. For being ravaged by fire, it's pretty nice. Those were the old door handles. This one's in pretty okay condition. I think that's made of wood, so yeah, that's why it burnt on the other one. Under here is the stage, the back of the stage, or a pulpit, or whatever you want to call it. Not sure what those are. Yeah, these were some. These used to be attached up there. They used to run along and distribute air that comes into all the rooms. That's an air vent. That is so cool. This one's a bit easy to see, but see, oh, don't want to break him. I'll lift it up. Oh. But as you can see, that's hollow, and the air would run along there. Just put you down now. Don't want to break you. I assume those were to connect it to the ceiling somewhere. Let's see if we can find a pinhole up there. Pinhole. Can't see anything. Maybe these were pulled off over there. Yes, they were. That's a hole there. And that's another vent to the other room. I think I've solved the mystery. They must all be burnt in the other rooms, but that's what I was talking about. So not an internal vent per se in the walls, but an external one that's kind of, if you can imagine those up against that back wall, like running around and diving through and connecting to other ones on other sides and kind of running along and circulating air around. That is pretty nifty. But we are going this way. up the stairs. These stairs are not very stable. Flavored yogurt. There's no sane person eats this much yogurt. So it's not like they brought it in here to have a party. And there's planter bottles. There's a lot of plastic. I assume they'll bring it in here to burn. If I step on there, I'm gonna fall. So I'm gonna step up here and not fall, hopefully. And not go too far. You can see that wobble is not stable, as is. That down here, that whole piece is actually the ceiling. So, yeah, good times. That looks like a petrol can. Maybe it's just rubbish, but those people coming in here in the 80s and lighting fires, these are pretty cool. Maybe they were imported in here. Oh yes, this is what I was talking about. Okay, so this is a toilet cistern. So this is similar design to the ones that we still use, but basically the water fills up, pushes this ball, and it shuts off the flow valve. And then when you open the handle, it pulls up a little plug in the bottom, and the whole tank drops, and this falls down, and more water pours in. So, but that is copper, so thieves would be extra interested in this. Switch boxes. I'm not too certain about how stable this is. It's pretty stable, but I have more confidence in this row right here next to the beams than I do stepping over here by these chairs. I don't think I've missed anything, to be honest. It was a pretty good, quick tour, but yeah, I need to head out and seal it back up. It's just a shame that people break stuff, you know? I am underneath a park or a public space, so this is technically not allowed, you know? There's no sign saying don't go in here. But yeah. I would like to go home and have a hot shower and a cup of tea. Anyway, if you like this type of content, like people doing random stuff, please like this video and watch one of my other videos of me doing slightly less dangerous stuff. There's nails everywhere. Yeah, and maybe be safe and respectful. Try not to break stuff like I am currently doing. In my defense, it is already mostly broken, so oh well.